Okay, so in this scenario, then the two friends have been close, and this COVID vaccine issue has divided them because one is vaccinated, one is unvaccinated. So I think we're going to switch roles again. So this time I'm the unvaccinated friend, you're the
Mm.
vaccinated friend who is still upset that you didn't do the right thing. And how could there be such a difference in thinking? Because you guys have always been close, or we have been always been close. How did this happen? So I guess the first thing is how, as you said, you have to understand the other person's perspective. So what are you thinking as that vaccinated friend? Why are you upset?
Okay, let me explain it, Philip. From if we're in role play now, I've been really upset, during this period, Philip, because I felt you were genuinely putting your health at risk. You've had some underlying health issues, and I've understood from what I've heard and read that puts you at more risk. And I really felt concerned for you that you were not taking care of yourself. You were not looking after yourself. And actually, frankly, I felt I might lose you.
I understand that, Jane, but we've been friends a long time. And you must know that if I am focused on something, if I am concerned about something, I'm not going to do it. And to be frank with you, I am now more concerned not about me, but about you, because you've taken this concoction, this gene therapy, and I am, are you going to drop dead? This is what's concerning me.
Yeah, I can hear your concern, Philip. I now I can acknowledge your concern. I hear that you're concerned for me, and I hope that you can hear that I am or was concerned for you. I don't know how we move forward from here, because I think we've just taken completely different different a different view of this. I don't know what ideas do you have about how we move forward from here.
Well, I think that I use that as an example as to how you go down a rabbit hole, because I think if you say that in the discussion, you're stuck. How can the person then move forward? I went down a rabbit hole, and I think this is what we need to avoid doing, is that we can't go down this rabbit hole. And so instead, when you made your point, I probably should have said, I was very concerned. I did share with you a lot of stuff that I was reading online, and I know that you didn't agree with my perspectives and some of the things that I had been reading and sharing. But we are at a stage now in the pandemic where what matters is not directly our decisions then, but the fact that largely the virus is behind us. And can we go back to rebuilding our friendship?
So I guess my question to you, Philip, was what do we need to do to rebuild our friendship? What do you think? What are your ideas?
I guess the question is, does it need to acknowledge that I didn't not respect, but that you were concerned about me and I didn't take that seriously enough? Does that require an acknowledgement there?
I think what we are doing here, and I guess we're out of role a little bit, is acknowledging that both of us cared enough about each other to be concerned. And if we understand that's where we came from, and that's a place of fear, isn't it, really, not a place of love? Actually, it's one of the things that, we come back to in mediation and in life, is that we're often reacting, even if you shout at a small toddler, it's usually out of fear because you think they're going to burn themselves or run into the street or whatever. But it's also out of love. And it's coming back to acknowledge, what do I hear in this? I hear that you cared enough about me to to be worried for me.
I want to quickly flip the roles in this situation. And this time I want you, being the concerned friend, who say unvaccinated, now to be telling me about the fact that there are all these risks and these harms that could be, and these people dropping dead, as they say. I want you to start saying that to me, and I'm going to give you the standard response that many people give. So can you start?
So even now, Philip, one of the things that really worries me is that, you know, and this has been publicized quite a lot, is that there is a huge excess death rate. You know, the rate of deaths per week or per month is way above the average.
Jane, can we just not talk about this anymore? I just don't want to talk about this anymore.
I think we can agree not to talk about it, Philip, but I wonder if it still creates a barrier in our friendship, because I guess I'm still concerned about, will you be alert to any symptoms that you have that maybe being caused by something that you could actually mitigate, you could take some steps towards. But if
I don't want to think about this anymore. I've made a decision, and if something happens to me, something happens to me. I just did at the time what I thought was best. And can we just not talk about this anymore?
I hear you, Philip. I do hear you. And if that's what you want, I think we can not talk about it anymore. But I remain concerned for you.
So is that the best way to close that out, Jane?
I think it's one of those things, you're not going to go further with that particular, you know. Yeah. I've heard exactly, and I have heard from other friends, Philip, what you've just said to me there. That would be a normal response, I think, from somebody who's taken that stand to say, actually, I don't want to know. I'm not interested in mitigating. I don't really want to know whether I can take any concoctions that might make me healthier. I don't care. Because I don't want to look there. And you can't make someone look into a hole they don't want to look into. You can't.